Yan naman. Ano? Okay, hindi na. Okay. Hindi na.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, viewers. So we are again present here for today for the pre-bid conference for procurement of civil works. So we are live via YouTube in compliance to Department Order Number 6, Series of 2024. So before we proceed, may we request the Secretariat to acknowledge persons and guests present.
Good morning, each and everyone. To acknowledge the presence of those who attended this briefing conference for civil works today, May 16, 2024, we have here our back Vice Chairperson, Madam Catherine M. Sagria, our back members, Engineer Carlo Antonio T. Guzman,
Present.
and Engineer Elmo R. Vasquez. From back Secretariat, headed by Engineer Maria Shelby Espupia, present, together with Ma'am Lucena M. Garma. From the TWG, headed by Architect Lynn Chan B. Galera, together with Engineer Bebo C. Salamanca. From Planning and Design Section representatives, Engineer Adrian Rick Labha and Engineer Giancarlo T. Humawan. From Maintenance Section, Engineer Neil Lawrence Brigoli. We also acknowledge the presence of the DepEd Engineer, Engineer Margie Lee Magtoba. That's all, Madam. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. So, since the back committee and back members and the majority are present, I hereby declare a quorum and call this meeting in order. So, we have here present of agenda for this activity. We have 4 agendas to be taken today. You have the copy. So any addition or to be included in the present agenda? There's none? So may I know the pleasure of the body?
I move for the adoption of the preset agenda.
I second.
So it has been moved and seconded that this pre-bid agenda will be taken. First, in the order of business, and the explanation is the brief explanation of the following: the basic contract data, basic contract data, including contract description, EPC, and duration. So this will be presented to us by the Planning and Design section. Engineer Labha. So before we have here 12 projects to be presented. First.
So,
So the first project will be presented by Engineer Purok.
Good morning. Name of contract, repair, rehabilitation of Lahi Bridge abutment and approach on road slope protection along Surigao-Davao Coastal Road, Barangay Magnaga, Pantukan, Davao de Oro. Contract ID number 24LA0089. Location, Pantukan, Davao de Oro. Scope of works, repair, rehabilitation of damaged abutment A and abutment B with concrete slope protection, repair rehabilitation of damaged Portland cement concrete pavement, PCCP along Surigao-Davao Coastal Road. Approved budget for the contract is 12,211,110 pesos. Source of fund is 011011101 regular agency fund with SARO number SR 202402011573. Contract duration is 130 calendar days. Size range small b. License category is C and D. Cost of bid documents is 25,000. This is the front page of the plan for the project. Here we can see the vicinity map, key map, location plan, and project limits. The typical detail for reinforced concrete revestment.
Hello, good morning, sir. For the flood control project, name of contract, construction of flood mitigation structure along Mabu Creek leading to Kingking River, Barangay Kingking, Pantukan, Davao de Oro. Contract ID number 24LA0102. Location, Pantukan, Davao de Oro. Scope of works, construction of reinforced concrete revetment, installation of matrices with filter cloth for scar protection, construction of reinforced concrete box culvert, installation of pipe culvert and manhole. Approved budget for the contract, 96,500,000 pesos. Source of fund, FY 2024, GAA, CSSP, CPAL. Contract duration, 255 calendar days. Size range, medium A. License category, B. Cost of bid documents, 50,000 pesos. And this is the location map for the Mabu Creek leading to Kingking River. Next, please. The typical of reinforced concrete revetment. Next, please. Next. And for the gabions and matrices, the typical. And for the typical of reinforced concrete box culvert, triple barrel. Next. And for the double barrel, 3x3. And for the typical roadway section, next. Next. The middle, next please. Next. For the end of project. Number 2, for the name of contract, construction of flood mitigation structure along Bingag Creek leading to Kingking River, Barangay Kingking, Pantukan, Davao de Oro. Contract ID number 24LA0103, location Pantukan, Davao de Oro. Scope of works, construction of reinforced concrete revetment, installation of matrices with filter cloth for scar protection, construction of reinforced concrete box culvert. Approved budget for the contract, 96,500,000 pesos. Source of fund, FY 2024, GAA, CSSP, CPAL. Contract duration, 255 calendar days. Size range, medium A. License category B. Cost of bid documents, 50,000 pesos. And for the Bingag Creek leading to Kingking River, location map. Also, same as the Mabu Creek, no? Bingag. Next, please. Next. And also for the mattresses and gabions. RCBC double barrel 3x3. And also we have the typical of Japanese RCBC 3 by 6 meters. Typical roadway section detail. So the start of the project, the middle, and the end of project of the Bingag Creek leading to Kingking River. So,
For building projects, we have name of contract, construction of multi-purpose building, Barangay Bongbong, Pantukan, Davao de Oro. The contract ID number is 24LA0029, location Pantukan, Davao de Oro. The scope of work, construction of complete 8.51 meter by 11 meter stage and 16 meter by 30 meter basketball court with movable basketball goal. The approved budget for the contract is 7,920,000. Source of fund FY 2024 GAA BIP. Contract duration 120 calendar days. Size range small b. License category CND. And the cost of the documents is 10,000. This is the perspective view of our project in Barangay Bongbong, Pantukan. Next. The typical ground floor plan of our project. The elevation, typical elevation of our project. Next, please. This is the digital photos taken during the site validation in Pantukan. Next, sir. Next. Next, contract is construction of multi-purpose facility, Pantukan, Davao de Oro, with the contract ID number 24LA0094, location Pantukan, Davao de Oro. Scope of work, construction, improvement of Pantukan Eco Park Phase 1. This include site development and ground development, construction of public toilet, landscaping, plants and trees, hardscape, covered benches, pathways, steel and wood decorative, fountain, and ponds. The approved budget for the contract is 4,950,000. Source of fund FY 2024 GAA CSSP BIP. Contract duration 180 calendar days. Size range small b. License category C and D. Cost of the documents 5,000. This is the vicinity map of the proposed project in Pantukan. The site development plan. Next slide. These are the perspective view of our project, proposed project. Next slide. Next. 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 So these are the digital photos taken during our site validation inspection. Next. Next. So the next contract is construction of multi-purpose building, Bantay Dagat building, Purok Matinabangon C, Barangay Kingking, Pantukan, Davao de Oro, with the contract ID number 24LA0099, location Pantukan, Davao de Oro. Scope of work, construction of two-story, 7 meter by 11 meter Bantay Dagat building with provision of observatory tower. The approved budget for the contract is 3,960,000. Source of fund FY 2024 GAA CSSP BIP. Contract duration 120 calendar days. Size range small b. License category C and D. Cost of the documents 5,000. This is the vicinity map of our project. Proposed project. The location plan. This is the perspective view of our proposed project in Matinabangon, Barangay Kingking, Pantukan. The typical floor plan of our project. Next. These are the digital photos taken during the site validation. Next contract. Completion of multi-purpose building Barangay Binuangan, Mako, Davao de Oro with a contract ID number 24LA0105, location Mako, Davao de Oro. The scope of work, completion of municipal gym, like installation of glass windows and doors, construction of IT and control room, construction of entrance canopy, replacement of roofing, additional thickness of court slab, repainting of existing structures, electrical works at the main gym, including 2 sets of industrial fan. The approved budget for the contract is 19,800,000. The source of fund is FY 2024 GAA CSSP BIP. Contract duration 240 calendar days. Size range small b. License category C and D. Cost of the documents 25,000. This is the location map of our proposed project. The vicinity map. Next. The site development plan and the floor plan of our proposed project in Binuangan. Next. This is the perspective view of the proposed project. Digital photos taken during the site validation. Next. Next contract is construction of waters.
Next for the water system projects. Name of contract, construction of water system project, Barangay Kapatagan, Laak, Davao de Oro. Contract ID number 24LA0106. Location, Laak, Davao de Oro. Scope of works, construction of steel elevated tank, installation of water pumping system, installation of PE pipes, valves, and pipe fittings, painting on steel, and concrete structures. And for the correction, ma'am sir, sa tuwang copy na ay construction of some tank, so typo error lang na siya, ma'am. Approved budget, 9,900,000 pesos. Source of fund, FY 2024 GAA CSSP VIP. Contract duration, 230 calendar days. Size range, small b. License category, C and D. Cost of bid documents, 10,000 pesos. And for the location map of our proposed water system project. For the top view of our elevated steel tank, of our typical details of our elevated steel tank. Next, please. Next. And for our total photos for our proposed elevated steel tank.
So,
Next is name of contract, construction of bridge, Ampawid Laak, Davao de Oro. Contract ID number 24LA0107. Location, Laak, Davao de Oro. Scope of works, construction of hanging bridge with a total length of 25 linear meter, concrete slope protection on abutment 1 and concrete slope protection on abutment 2. Approved budget for the contract, 4,950,000 pesos. Source of fund, FY 2024 GAA CSSP BIP. Contract duration, 161 calendar days. Size range, small b. License category, CND. Cost of B documents, 5,000 pesos. The location map of our proposed hanging bridge. Vicinity map of the bridge. Location map of the bridge. General plan of the bridge. General elevation of the proposed hanging bridge. Geotag photos.
For the next contract, construction of two-story 10 classroom, Mainit ES Nabunturan, Davao de Oro, with the contract ID number 24LA0108. Location, Nabunturan, Davao de Oro. Scope of work, construction of complete two-story 10 classroom school building with toilet attached with the following provision: concrete parapet, hand washing facilities, window grills, permits and clearances, railings, solar panels with inverter, booster pump, fire detection and alarm system, and site development. The approved budget for the contract is 40,589,688.20 centavos. The source of fund is BEFF CY 2024. Contract duration 244 calendar days. Size range medium A. License category B. Cost of B documents 25,000. This is the location map of our proposed project with the uh, with coordinates of 7.51 degree north and 125.94 degrees. This is the perspective view of our proposed project, historical CN in Mainit Elementary School. This is the typical ground floor plan of our project. Next. Next. The front elevation of our project. Next. Geotag photos taken during the site validation. Next.
Again, for the water system project, name of contract, construction of water system, level 2, Pantukan North Side, Pantukan, Davao de Oro. Contract ID number 24LA0109. Location, Pantukan, Davao de Oro. Scope of works, construction of steel elevated tank, installation of water pumping system, installation of P pipes, valves and pipe fitting, painting on steel and concrete structure. Approved budget for the contract, 29,700,000 pesos. Source of fund, FY 2024 GAA CSSP BIP. Contract duration, 313 calendar days. Size range, small b. License category, CND. Cost of bid documents, 25,000 pesos. And for our location map, at For our location map from north side, Purok 6, Sitio Magapalway, Barangay Bungabong, water tank capacity 8,000 gallons. Please. And for the Purok Kainito, Sitio Lawaan, Barangay Kingking, water tank capacity 8,000 gallons. Please. And for the typical details of our limited tank, top view. Please. And for our general elevation, steel tank of 8,000 gallons. Please. And for the typical section of our pump house. Next, please. Next, please. And for our Jota photos for our proposed elevated steel tank at Purok 6, Sitio Magapalway, Barangay Bungabong. Next, please. And for the Jota photos of Purok Kainito, Sitio Lawaan, Barangay Kingking. Next, please. Construction and for the location map of our Tagtangwa ES Purok 6 Barangay Tagtangwa, water tank capacity 14,000 gallons. Please. For Purok 4 Santa Teresa Barangay Magnaga, water tank capacity 14,000 gallons. Next, please. So the typical details of our 14,000 gallons top view. Next, please. The general elevation of our 14,000 gallons typical details. Next, please. And also for the pump house typical details. Next, please. Next, please. For Jota photos of Tagdangwa ES, Purok 6, Barangay Tagdangwa. Water capacity 14,000 gallons. Purok 4, Santa Teresa, Barangay Magnaga, water tank capacity 14,000 gallons. Next, for the name of contract, construction water supply system, level 2, Pantukan, South Side, Pantukan, Davao de Oro. Contract ID number 24LA0110. Location, Pantukan, Davao de Oro. Scope of works, construction of steel elevated tank, installation of water pumping system, installation of pipes, valves, and pipe fitting, painting on steel and concrete structure. Approved budget for the contract, 29,400,000 pesos. Source of fund, FY 2024 GAA CSSP BIP. Contract duration, 317 calendar days. Size range, small b, license category CND. Cost of bid documents, 25,000 pesos. For our location map of Fuentes ES, Barangay Fuentes, water tank capacity 8,000 gallons. And for our Purok 8, Maitong, Barangay Tambungon, water tank capacity 8,000 gallons. And also for our typical details for 8,000 gallons. Next, please. Next, please. Next, please. For our Jota photos, for Fuentes ES, Barangay Fuentes, water tank capacity 8,000 gallons. Next, please. And for our Purok 8, Maitong, Barangay Tambungon, water tank capacity 8,000 gallons. Next, please. And for our Purok 1, Barangay Napnapan, water tank capacity 14,000 gallons. Next, please. For our location of Barangay Matiao, water tank capacity 14,000 gallons. Next, please. The typical detail of our 14,000 gallons. Next, please. Next, please. Next. For our Jota photos at Purok 1, Barangay Napnapan, water tank capacity 14,000 gallons. Next. And for Barangay Matiao, water tank capacity 14,000 gallons. And that's all for the water system project. Thank you.
Thank you, Engineer. From planning section for the explanation and detailed presentation of the projects to be procured by interested bidders. So, next in the order of business, we have here the requirements and bidding documents, including instruction of bidders, general condition of contract, special condition of contract, specification, drawings, and bill of quantities and forms. After our review.
Requirements of bidding documents. All documents required, including the instructions to bidders, the general conditions of contract, special condition of contract, specifications, drawings, bill of quantities, and forms, such as bid securities, are all uploaded to PhilJEP's website and our website at the DPWH. A complete set of bidding documents may be acquired by interested bidders from the procurement unit at the DPWH Davao de Oro 1st DEO Navintaran Davao de Oro and upon payment of the applicable fee for the bidding documents. It may also be downloaded free of charge from the website of the Philippine Government Electronic Procurement System, PhilJEPS, and the website of the procuring entity, provided that bidders shall pay the applicable fee for the bidding documents not later than the submission of their bids. Documents to be submitted by the bidder. The following documents should be included by the interested bidders in their bids. For the technical component of the bid, A. Eligibility documents such as PhilJEP's certificate. B. PCAB license and registration. C. Statement of all ongoing government and private contracts, SLCC only. NFCC computation and statement of total assets and total liabilities. D. Joint venture agreement, if applicable. E. Technical documents such as bid security, project requirements such as the organizational chart for the contract, list of contractors' personnel, list of major equipment, and omnibus statement, which is 10 items. For financial component of the bid, A. Bid form. B. Bid prices and the bill of quantities. C. Detailed estimates including a summary sheet indicating unit prices of construction materials, labor rates, and equipment rentals. D. Cash flow by quarter. These documents should be submitted using to envelope system. Bidders are urged to only fasten the documents at the topmost portion instead of binding them. Each document should be ear tagged appropriately. There shall be 3 copies of documents, the original copy, copy 1, and copy 2. The original copies of technical component of the bid shall be sealed in one envelope, and the original copies of financial component of the bid shall be sealed in another envelope. These envelopes should be labeled as original copy of technical component and original copy of financial component respectively. These labeled envelopes shall be sealed into one envelope and label it as the original copy of the bid. The same procedure applies to copy 1 and copy 2. Lastly, the original copy, copy 1 and copy 2 of the bid shall be sealed into one final envelope to be submitted here in conference room, 2nd floor, DPWH, 1st District Engineering Office, Navintaran Davao de Oro. Bids can also be submitted electronically through electronicbids_Compostela Valley at dpwh.gov.ph.
Please be reminded, key personnel. There should be no overlapping or no dual functions, especially in project manager, project engineer, materials engineer, and foreman. Tax identification number, TIN, should be indicated in your bid documents. It will be needed during the award of contract. Financial documents should be written legibly. Discrepancies of bid prices between figures and in words will prevail. For discount offers, methodology shall be indicated. Otherwise, the original bid amount will prevail. Bids not addressing or providing all the required items in the bidding documents, especially in the bill of quantities, the bid will be considered as non-responsive. Always check your documents before submitting to avoid disqualification. All bidders should update their PhilJEPS contractor's profile application as mandated and in accordance to Section 8.5.2 of 2016 IRR of RA 9184 and the GPPB Resolution Number 15 to 2021. In addition to our bidding documents, bidders are required to include in their technical documents the affidavit of site inspection with proof of evidence of actual visit of the area. This is to avoid problems during the implementation of the project, as per BAC Resolution Number 071 Series of 2023.
Criteria and procedure for eligibility check. Criteria and procedure for eligibility check that are set forth in Section 23 of the revised implementing rules and regulations of RA 9184. All prospective bidders should have updated their CLASA documents. These documents were already discussed by the Secretariat. During the opening of bids, the BAC will check the eligibility result of contractor's profile application from Procurement Service of Central Office and simultaneously conduct the eligibility check and preliminary examination of the technical components of the bids. Bidders who are found eligible and the same time pass the preliminary examination of their technical proposal and financial proposal, the committee will read the bid amount stated in the bid form.
Okay. All the requirements, documents to be submitted, and the criteria and procedure of eligibility check are well explained by our videos. So the next order of the business, which is number 2, the question from the bidders and replies of the BAC and other representative of the procuring entity. Is there any questions? There is none. We will proceed to the third agenda, which is other matters. That's 3-strike policy. We viewed in our screen.
3-strike policy, introduction and policy objective. In order to establish a fair and transparent system for managing offenses committed by bidders in the procurement of infrastructure, goods, and consulting services projects through public bidding, the Department of Public Works and Highways, DPWH, hereby introduces an updated 3-strike policy. This policy is aimed at enforcing adherence to the procurement guidelines stipulated under Section 69.1.I of the 2016 revised implementing rules and regulations, R of Republic Act, RAE 9184. Under this policy, if a bidder commits 3 offenses or acts described as all other acts that tend to defeat the purpose of competitive bidding, they shall be subjected to an administrative penalty. These offenses, acts are further classified into 3 major categories, as enumerated below.
Classification of offenses that triggers the 3-strike policy and exceptions. 1. Withdrawal from the bidding process. Submission of a non-participation letter, or failure to submit a bid after purchasing the bid documents. However, the Bids and Awards Committee, BAC, recognizes certain valid reasons for these actions. A. If upon computation prior to bid submission, the bidder determines that their proposed bid price will exceed the approved budget for the contract, ABC. To substantiate this, the bidder must provide evidence. Acceptable proof includes, but is not limited to, a detailed budget estimation or a market price report. B, if the bidder, after reviewing the bidding documents and evaluating the available market options, determines that the required goods or supplies either are not available, or that the available alternatives do not meet the specified technical specifications. Additionally, if providing the specified goods or supplies would require the bidder to incur costs exceeding the competitive and financially viable range, or if adherence to the specifications would lead to a bid price that is not economically favorable, the bidder may withdraw. To validate this reason, the bidder should present an affidavit demonstrating that participating in the bid under these conditions would be financially unsustainable. 2. Submission of late bids without valid reasons as determined by the BAC. Exceptions will be considered under extraordinary circumstances such as force majeure. This refers to unexpected and unavoidable external events that impede or prevent a bidder from timely bid submission, as defined in Article 1174 of the Philippine Civil Code. 3. Submission of patently insufficient bid. A patently insufficient bid refers to a bid that fails to include or comply with certain mandatory requirements. The determination of whether a bidder committed such an offense may occur as outlined below. A. During eligibility screening and/or shortlisting. I. Submission of an expired certificate of Philippine Government Electronic Procurement System, PhilGPS, registration, platinum membership, or a certificate of PhilGPS certification containing expired Class A legal and financial documents as determined during the eligibility screening. Failure to include certificate of employment, contract agreement among permanent personnel and staff of the firm, and curriculum vitae in the application for eligibility and shortlisting, AES, which are evaluated during the shortlisting for consulting services projects. B. During bid evaluation, failure to submit required bid forms, as outlined in Annex C detailing the complete list of required bid forms. 2. Submission of incomplete, insufficient, or defective documents due to the non-inclusion and/or omission of mandatory provisions and statements for the required bid forms, as per Annex C outlining the mandatory provisions of required forms. 3. Submission of an unnotarized bid securing declaration, an omnibus sworn statement, and joint venture agreement or statements from all the potential joint venture partners, with the exception during the declaration of state of calamity, or implementation of community quarantine or similar restrictions declared or being implemented either in the locality of the procuring entity, PE, or of the bidder. 4. Submission of the bid form, price schedules, bid securing declaration, omnibus sworn statement, and joint venture agreement, JVA, without the name, legal capacity, and signature of the bidder or its authorized representative. 5. Nomination of key personnel of a profession different from what is required by the bidding documents, or, in the case of consulting services, proposing a key personnel whose educational background is different from that required by the TOR. 6. Failure to submit proof of ownership, lease, or purchase agreement of pledged equipment. 7. Failure to submit the required certification of key personnel as per Department Order Number 9, Series of 2012, or, in the case of consulting services projects, failure to submit certifications as required by the terms of reference, TOR. 8. Failure to comply with the required minimum number of key personnel and equipment as stated in the bidding documents.
C. During post-qualification, 1. Participation in bidding for consulting services or good and services contracts by a bidder whose business type category, as indicated on the mayor's permit, does not match or unrelated to the contract being bid for, as determined during the post-qualification process. 2. Participation for infrastructure projects by a bidder whose allowable range of contract costs, RCC, as indicated on the CAB license, does not match with the specific requirements of the infrastructure project being bid for in terms of category, classifications, and size ranging. Enforcement and penalties. If a bidder commits any of the 3 major offenses or acts listed above 3 times within a year starting from the approval date of the resolution recommending the imposition of strike 1, first warning, which is counted as day 1 through day 365, and if these 3 offenses are similar or identical nature, it will trigger the enforcement of the stipulated administrative penalty, suspension from participating in all DPWH procurement activities, and entering into contract with any DPWH procuring entity. Subsequently, as per the procedure outlined in Annex A, this may result in the blacklisting of the suspended bidder thereby disqualifying the bidder from participating in any government procurement activities for a period of 1 year. In conjunction with blacklisting, the bidder will also face bid security forfeiture and must comply with the enforcement of the bid securing declarations condition. In more severe instances, when a bidder commits another set of 3 similar offenses, or more than 2 sets of 3 similar offenses instances, where more than 6 similar offenses occur within the said 1-year time frame, the bidder may be subjected to an increased penalty, resulting in blacklisting for a period of 2 years. The effectuation for the penalty of either 1 or 2 years, as applicable, will be clearly stipulated in the blacklisting order, with the provision that the duration of blacklisting shall not exceed a maximum period of 2 years, commencing on the date the blacklisting order is approved and issued by the Secretary. In enforcing these penalties, the DPWH emphasizes the need for a clear and fair procedure. When an offense leading to a strike is identified, the erring bidder will be promptly notified by the Bids and Awards Committee, BAC, and given a chance to explain their actions before any final decision is made. This procedure helps ensure a well-informed and fair judgment. Furthermore, if it is suspended due to 3 strikes, they have the right to file a request for reconsideration as per the procedure in Annex A. This gives the suspended bidder a formal way to challenge the suspension, showcasing the department's commitment to due process in enforcing the 3-strike policy. 4. Due process and implementation. To ensure that due process is upheld across all stages of procurement, from eligibility screening and shortlisting to bid evaluation and post-qualification, it is essential for the BAC and its technical working group, TWG, to meticulously verify the monthly consolidated strike reports updated version at each stage of the procurement process. All BACs are tasked with actively monitoring these updates to accurately track the infractions committed by bidders. Notably, even if a bidder has accumulated 3 strikes, this alone shall not be grounds for ineligibility, disqualification, or post-qualification until the suspension order is approved by the Secretary and officially posted on DPWH website. Moreover, if a suspended bidder has filed a request for reconsideration, the awarding of the contract may be deferred until such request is resolved. This approach ensures the integrity and coherence of our procurement system, reflecting our dedication to a transparent and fair process for all participants. Failure of the concerned DPWH personnel to implement the provisions of this order shall, after due process, make them liable to the penalties prescribed for violation of reasonable office rules and regulation in Rule 10, Administrative Offenses and Penalties of the 2017 Rules on Administratives in the Civil Service dated the 3rd of July 2017. This order shall take effect immediately and shall supersede Department Order Number 17, Series of 2015, Department Order Number 35, Series of 2008, and all other issuances that are inconsistent with this order.
Okay. Has been said, so we will go to the last agenda. We have the summary of proceedings, including supplemental bid, bulletin to be issued, it will be presented to us by our head procurement unit, engineer. Yeah.
Good morning. All agenda for pre-bid conference are well explained and discussed by the Secretariat and the Planning and Maintenance Engineers. Prospective bidders are advised to visit anytime our website, the field reps and DPWH for any supplemental bid bulletin issued. And also dropping of bids will be on May 28, 2024 at 10 a.m. and will be open after all bids have been received and recorded. Thank you.
So all the businesses, the agenda were already taken into consideration. May I know the pleasure of the body?
I move for the adjournment of this meeting.
I second the motion.
So it has been moved and seconded, and no objection. The motion to adopt this agenda is hereby approved. And this conference is now adjourned. Thank you everyone for coming. And ayong punta.
Good morning.